Good day everyone, I am Jerame Landiza and my topic is all about the arrival of Rizal in Manila. So we all know that Rizal is the most honored Filipino of all time. So when Rizal arrived in Manila, he was accompanied by his sister Lucia on June 26, 1892. Like many heroes of old, he was awaited by a crowd, watching or spying on him before he was consecrated to history. So the Carabiners, headed by their commandant, a captain and a lieutenant of the Guardia Civil Veterana, and a sergeant in civilian clothes were there pag-arrive ni Jose Rizal sa Manila. So, since there were no Filipinos who came to meet Rizal when he arrived in Manila, there was no sense in that manifestation of force. So, naapoy nag-disguise sergeant to follow Rizal and his sister to find where they were going to stay. And Rizal and his sister Lucia registered at the Hotel de Oriente, which is the best and the most modern hotel at that time. At 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Rizal proceeded to Malacañang Palace, where residence of Governor General Aurelio Despujol. When he arrived in Manila, si Rizal, he announced a series of reforms which created a certain wave of popularity in his favor. So now the General sent word to Rizal that he could not receive him at that moment, but the General requested him to come back at 7 o'clock in the evening. At that hour, the interview started, and as a result, Despujol annulled the deportation of Rizal's father, but not that of his brother, nor his brother-in-law, which is Antonio Lopez. Another meeting was arranged for Wednesday, the 29th, or 3 days later. Then, from Malacañang, Rizal proceeded to his sisters, Narcisa and Saturnina. So, on the following day, Rizal left by train to visit various towns where some of his companions in Spain resided. Among Rizal visited are Pedro Serrano Lactao, Timoteo Pais, and the parents of Valentin Ventura, who had collaborated with him in financing el filibusterismo. So, he was gone only 2 days. So, he failed to notice that he was being followed by the police. So, sa iyang pag-adto, wala siya kabalo, nagisunda na dahil siya sa mga pulis. So, after that, on Wednesday, the 29th, he went to Malacañang for his appointment with the Governor General. Niadto na po si Rizal sa Malacañang. So, the interview lasted for 2 hours. He did not succeed in obtaining the freedom of his brother, but he left with the prospect of succeeding in the near future. So, on Thursday, Rizal had another meeting with Despujol. This time, the matter of Sir Rizal is the Borneo settlement. But Despujol expressed strong opposition to the idea. What is surprising is that Rizal had hoped for the acceptance of the project, which is the Borneo settlement. The Governor General offered lands, a league, and half from Calamba. So, in this particular season, Despujol annulled the deportation of Rizal's brother. And on Sunday, July 3, Rizal went personally to thank the governor and to inform him that his father and brothers were arriving by the first boat available. The general then inquired whether or not Rizal wanted to return to Hong Kong. Then Rizal replied affirmatively. The meeting ended up with an agreement to resume talks the following Wednesday on July 6. And on the night of July 3, Sunday, Rizal went to the house of Doroteo Onghongco, where the organization of La Liga Filipina was founded. So, on July 5, Tuesday, all the houses that Rizal visited was searched by the police. Suspicion arose from the fact that all the houses visited by Jose Rizal were inhabited by the Masons. The police found some denunciations against the friars, some Masonic signs, and some copies of No Limitang Here and El Filibusterismo. The worst fear was confirmed. Rizal's steps have been constantly tracked. So, on the July 6, the most dramatic conference between Rizal and the governor took place. Dispujol asked him again whether he still wished to return to Hong Kong, and again Rizal replied in the affirmative. Then, taking up another topic, si Dispujol inquired if he had brought in his baggage some leaflets against the friars. So, si Rizal emphatically denied it. Wala ko no. Then, Dispujol showed him one of the leaflets which allegedly had been found inside Rizal's suitcases in his room at the Hotel del Oriente, which his sister and Rizal stay in when Rizal first arrived in Manila. So, he then asked Rizal to whom the pillows and mats belong, and then ingon po si Rizal to my sister. So, the general concluded that Rizal was trying to throw the blame to his sister Lucia. So, this was of course utterly improbable. Such conduct was contradictory to and unworthy of a man who did not fear death, as proven by the act of presenting himself in the Philippines, despite all the perils and in spite of all the advice to the contrary. So, because of the incident, Dispujol then informed Rizal that he was under arrest as of that moment, and that his nephew and assistant, Ramon Dispujol, would escort him in the palace coach to Fort Santiago. He had the means to dissuade Rizal and to render him impotent, for it was thought that his further stay in Manila was indeed dangerous. So, ang pag-uli din ni Rizal sa Manila kay maon na dito ang pinaka-dangerous niya na moment. So, from July 6 to 14, he was in a state of incommunicado. During those 9 days, there were 3 forces that exerted various pressures on the governor to influence the governor's decision on the fate of the prisoner. So, the same night that Rizal was held incommunicado at Fort Santiago, na a group of resolved men secretly meet in the house of Deodato Arellano. This group of men was composed of Arellano himself, Andres Bonifacio, Valentin Diaz, Teodoro Plata, Jose Dizon, and Ladislao Diwa. It has been said that it was at this meeting that the Katipunan was founded. Kaning meeting sa group of men na nagkita sa balay ni Deodato Arellano kay mauna ni ang Katipunan was founded. It has been said that it was this meeting that the Katipunan was founded. So, one might say that while the Katipunan was coming to life, La Liga Filipina, with its program of deferred action, was dying. Kay tungod man sa Katipunan, kay bago naman po na founded ang Katipunan. So, ang katong La Liga Filipina kay murag ni ubos-ubos na siya. So, Rizal did not have any participation in the Katipunan because he was in the state of incommunicado kay napriso man siya sa that time. So, that would be the end of my report. Thank you for listening, and please stay tuned for the next reporter. Thank you.